Hello, in this video we'd like to demonstrate to you our latest solution for copying FAAC remotes. Now if you're using the Pult dumper module, you can make copies of the original FAAC SLH remotes operating in slave mode at both 433 and 868 MHz. As you well know, copy remotes and the original FAAC remotes can only copy the code from a master remote. Only the original FAAC remotes operating in master mode can send the system code to other remotes. You can always identify a master remote by its light indicator. If you press and hold any button on the master remote, it will emit a short flash followed by a long continuous flash. The FAAC slave remote, on the other hand, always emits a long continuous flash. Our company has developed a way to copy FAAC slave remotes using our Pult dumper module. Let us demonstrate to you how that works. Here we have the original FAAC XT2 433 SLH remote. The remote has already been paired with the receiver. It is in master mode. Consequently, if we press the activation button, the receiver clicks, which means that the command is accepted by the receiver. We also have here our own remotes called FAAC SLH 433. These are copy remotes for the original FAAC SLH remote controls. In this demonstration, we're not going to use the original FAAC slave remotes. Instead, we will use copy remotes operating in slave mode. Thing is, if we switch from master mode to slave mode on the original FAAC SLH remote, we will not be able to revert the process. The original FAAC slave remote can never be switched back to master mode. This is because the manufacturer did not design the reset feature and did not intend switching from slave to master. Our copy remotes, on the other hand, can be reset and allow for switching between operating modes. First, let's make sure that none of the copy remotes have been paired with the receiver. Now we need to switch our copy remote to slave mode. Per default, all our copy remotes for FAAC SLH are in master mode. If we simultaneously press A and B, the copy remote will emit its system code. This is indicated by a short flash. When the original FAAC remote spits out its system code, it emits rapid intermittent flashing. Once again, on the copy remote, it's just one flash. Let's go ahead and switch our copy remote to slave mode. Now it's a slave remote, and as such, it cannot transmit the system code or be paired with the receiver through the Learn Code button on the receiver or through remote pairing. It can only learn the code from a previously paired remote. If we press A and B again, the copy remote won't emit the system code. Now let's pair it with the receiver with the help of our original FAAC master remote. The code has been sent. Now we need to press the activation button on the slave to pair it with the receiver. Now we have a remote in slave mode which has been successfully paired with the receiver. It cannot transmit the system code. In order to copy this FAAC slave remote, we are going to need to use the Pult dumper module. Connect the module to the PC and start the Pult dumper program. Select the port to which you connected the module. Now go to our tech support website at tech-primepult.ru. In the menu on the left, click on the link which says Copying of FAAC SLH in slave mode. You will be redirected to the code calculation page. It will calculate the system code of the FAAC slave remote. Leave this window open and go back to the Pult dumper program. Now let's read the signal dump from the slave remote, which has been paired with the receiver. Now click on the Recognize Online button. Below, next to the result, you'll see the name of the system, the code, and its description. You'll notice that the Pult dumper program identified the code as useless. It means that the remote is in slave mode. From the result field, copy the code and paste it in the code calculation window next to code 1. Now go back to the Pult dumper program and read the signal dump again. Click on the Recognize Online button, copy the code and paste it in the calculator next to code 2. It is important to read 2 consecutive signals from the slave remote. After the codes have been added to the calculator, you can click on the Calculate button. It takes about 2 minutes to generate the system code. After that's done, you'll need to copy the code below. Go back to the Pult Dumper program and click on the Synthesize Online button. Paste the code and click on the Synthesize button. The program will generate the signal dump with the system code. You can verify that by clicking on the Recognize Online button. This time the signal will identify the code as system code. Now, in order to copy the system code to a copy remote, you'll need to adjust the settings in the Pult Dumper program to match the settings of the slave remote you want to copy. If that slave remote operates at 433 MHz, the signal must be generated at that frequency. If it was 868 MHz, you should adjust the settings accordingly. Next to the frequency selection menu, choose 10 times. Now you can copy the code from the slave remote to an original FAAC SLH remote or a copy remote. In our case, we will use our own SLH copy remote manufactured by our company. We'll need to switch the copy remote to program remote and place it on the Pult Dumper module. All we need to do now is play the dump. This is our copy remote which received the code from the Pult Dumper module. We need to press the activation button once to pair it with the receiver. After that, it's ready to be used. It will not interfere with previously paired remotes, slave remotes, or original FAAC master remotes. And this is how you copy FAAC slave remotes. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and follow us on YouTube. Thank you, and until next time.